Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We are here today for the first episode of our Formula 1 23 My Team Career Mode. I know the upload is late, I'm a little busy, and if you guys did not catch the driver career mode start, I did explain that I am going to be posting 2 videos per week, one being the My Team Career Mode and the other being the Driver Career Mode series. So we're just going to go through all this preseason stuff and then get into the racing. If you guys just want to skip to the racing, you can just hit the little chapter on the timeline. It'll take you right over there if you don't want to see all this stuff. But we are going to get started here. We are starting as a midfield contender. Just because I'm posting one video a week, I don't want to spend the entire season trying to build up the car. I'm trying to be somewhat competitive to start and as we get into the other seasons. On top of that as well, we are going to have 10 race seasons for now. I'm going to see how the first season goes and then we will go from there. I may change it to 16. We're definitely not doing a full calendar. I will never have time for that, unfortunately. I'm trying to see a lot of driver transfers and stuff. If I do full seasons, we'll probably get through like 2 seasons at most before F1 24 comes out. So we're going to do 10 races. If you guys are excited for the series, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys know when all the videos come out. We are just adjusting some settings here and we are going to be playing at 100 for now. We're going to see how that turns out. I've been playing 100 on F1 22. However, I have had the fastest car on the grid since I've done that, so I feel like we might be a little bit slow. If we are pretty good, then I will up it to 105, maybe even 110, but we'll start off at 100 for now. We're going to be playing with simulation damage, red flags, essentially as hard as it can get besides the 100 difficulty. I'm also going to increase the amount of acclaim and resource points that the AI teams get, because last year we had a little bit of an issue where I just developed the car too fast and we spent the last 2 seasons being way ahead of all the other teams, and it really just led down to me and Sebastian Vettel fighting for the title. I'm trying to get more drivers involved, so we're going to up that. If it's still too fast and I can still decrease my resource rate and my acclaim rate for the team. I think with the 10 race season as well, we won't be able to develop the car as much per season because the regulation changes will hit us a lot sooner than if we played a 16 race season or a full calendar season. So it's going to be pretty interesting what happens here in this career mode. I'm excited for it. We're getting set here with our race suit and our livery. We're going with the classic cyBorg colors, red, silver, or gray, and then black, obviously. We're gonna add a little bit of gold in there, just a little head nod to our Porsche collaboration in F1 22. Who knows, maybe they'll make a comeback later on in this series, maybe not. Right now we have one of the default liveries. I'm still waiting for the F1 23 mods to come out so I can make my own livery and slap that on the car, because it looks a lot better and it looks a little more realistic, blends in with the other cars and stuff. When you have these default liveries, it just doesn't look as good. But we are here signing our teammate. I didn't turn on the My Team icon, so we are stuck with some F2 drivers and we are going to sign Jack Doohan. We got the Red Bull powertrain engine and a pretty decent sponsor. We get the bonus if we finish, I think, P6 in the Constructors Championship. But my expectations for Doohan are going to be pretty low. I mean, he's an F2 driver. I signed him because he had a pretty good rating, but especially he had the highest amount of focus, which is a very important stat in these F1 games compared to all the other F2 drivers. So hopefully he's able to do some damage for us, and we're gonna have a mid-pack car, I hope, so that should help him as well. But this is the livery race suit combo we are going for. We're just gonna add the classic cyBorg logo here as well. Team colors same as usual. We're not focusing too much on the livery and the cosmetic stuff because I'm hoping that the mods come out ASAP, and then once those come out I will slap those onto the team. But we also have the preseason press conference for the My Team Career Mode series. They ask you a bunch of questions, and then depending on how you answer the questions, a certain department in your team will get a facility boost, so quicker upgrades and all that. We are going to focus, like we did last year, on the chassis department because weight reduction is a super important factor in the car in these new regulations. And then we can focus on the straight line speed, the powertrain stuff later because we have the Red Bull engine. So that should be good for at least the first half to a first full season. But let's get into this press conference. Let's answer some questions here and get into this racing ASAP.
New year, new drivers, new team. Welcome and great to have you with us as we move far away from the paddock to the headquarters of the... But first, let's take a look at the brand new car. Well, hi. Thank you so much for having us. Great to be here. I'm going to start with the question that everyone is asking. It's been a long time since we've seen a team owner drive their own car, and a lot's changed since then. The sport has really evolved. So how are you going to manage the responsibility of doing both roles?
All right, so first question, pretty standard. We are gonna go with team. This may or may not affect the team morale going into the opening season, so we obviously don't want to be a narcissist here. We're gonna acknowledge the team, and hopefully that gives them a little bit of a boost of motivation going into the first race of the season here.
And tell me about your teammate. They're clearly very excited to have signed with you. What do they bring to the team?
I'm assuming this is going to affect Duhan's confidence or focus or whatever, so we're just going to go for a standard answer here. I really don't know what to answer or what to say.
So tell me about the work on the car. It's clearly a blank canvas. You've done a lot. What have you prioritized?
So these are the important questions here. We're going to be going chassis, unless there's a question that doesn't have the chassis department. We will probably choose aero.
Now, there's no getting away from the fact that your competitors have a huge amount of Formula One experience. You are a total newcomer. Tell us where you see the opportunities to make those vital performance gains.
So this question here, there is no option to choose the chassis department. So literally, like I just said, we're going to go with the aero option. Hopefully that'll give them a little boost as well, because after the chassis department, we will be shifting our focus to the aerodynamics and then probably the durability after that. We don't want to make the same mistake we did in F1 22.
Now, ultimately, your success this season will be determined by whether you can take positions from other drivers. Where do you believe this car has the edge?
Yeah, we're obviously going with the chassis here.
And with so many disciplines and experts working so closely together here at your HQ, who gets the coveted Teacher's Gold Star? Who are you most proud of as the first race edges ever closer?
I know she has to ask this question, but she should probably get the hint by now that we are backing the chassis department all the way here. But there's the preseason questions out of the way. Now, one last thing before we get into the race, we got to do this team management bull crap. We are going to get Duhan some training, increase his focus. We're going to get the aero and chassis department amped up. And then we're going to sign a sponsor here. I'm just signing that one because it's a high bonus. And honestly, it looks pretty cool to temporarily slap onto the car before we get our custom livery in. We are going to upgrade our aerodynamics facility with the $5.9 million that we got, just some quality control, so that we don't have to spend more resource points on failed upgrades that will lower the chances that it's failed. And then we're going to get 2 big weight reduction upgrades for the chassis, which will come before Jeddah. So we're still driving this first race with, I guess, the stock car or middle of the pack stock car, because I didn't choose the very last option at the very start. But let's get in to some qualifying. Finally, we are in Q1, and we put up our first hot lap here. Jack Duhan is already in front of us by a few hundredths of a second. Now, I did forget to drop the fuel load on that first lap, so we had like 10 laps of fuel on that first flyer, so this one should be a lot better. And with 10 laps of fuel in the car and we're qualifying P13 already, I think that is a little bit too good to be true at the moment. but qualifying pace and race pace are two entirely different things. So we have to see how we do in this first race to kind of judge whether I should up the difficulty a little bit before you know, I jump to any sort of conclusions. But we are on our second flyer. Our sector 1 is awful. We're actually down a 10th, but I did lose a lot of time through turns 8, 9, and 10. And this is where we are going to gain a lot of time, a better exit out of turn 8 and then into turn 9 and 10. It's kind of 2 corners in one. We jump up to a 10th of a second. Now we just have to get into the top 16. That is my goal after everything is kind of balanced, is to kind of be fighting to get into Q3, to get into the points. You know, if we're averaging like a finish of, you know, P7 to P10, that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. And then Duhan, I guess, would kind of be struggling to get into Q2 even after we kind of balance everything out. But for now, we're both doing pretty good. We're in P14 and P15 respectively. We finished this flyer 3/10 up on that first flyer with 10 laps of fuel in the tank, and we get P10 behind our fellow Canadian Lance Stroll. Jack Duhan also squeezes in to Q2, so kind of what I'm expecting here. First flyer in Q2 puts us in P10 once again behind Lando Norris, in front of Granyu Joe. I feel like I haven't said those names in a long time. We've been racing with the front of the field for the last 2 seasons of our F2 My Team career mode. In terms of the constructors battle, I'm hoping that we're battling, you know, with like McLaren, Alpine, and even Haas. I think that really depends on how the AI drivers of Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen do, because they can be a middle of the pack team. Sometimes they just don't show up and they don't drive, so that's kind of what I think puts them at the bottom. But up 2 tenths now, we improve once again on turn 8, and then turns 9 and 10 I think will be another little bit of an improvement. I'm hoping here that we can squeeze in to Q2, because we are doing 6/10 of a lap better than the previous one, but I feel like everyone else is going to have a similar improvement. We got the DRS here. We are going to cross the line, and we are going to cleanly make it in to Q3 with a P5. So maybe we're a little bit stronger than I'd like to be right now, but we'll see. The AI seem a little bit easier as well, I will say, compared to F1 22. We saw it in the F2 race. At least the start was great. Jack Duhan as well makes it in to Q3 here. First flyer in Q3. We are in P7. Max Verstappen not having a great qualifying right now. He's down in P8. He obviously should be in P1 or P2. The only person he should be losing out to right now is Sergio Perez, because this is the first race of a My Team save. The cars are going to be performance-wise how they are in real life. So Red Bull way ahead of everyone at the moment. Lando Norris in at P9. Duhan, I believe, is in P10 right now. Fernando Alonso P5. We got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in P6. But I'm hoping here that we can hold on to this P7. I think that Verstappen will most likely pass us to take that P7. But, you know, P7 star or P8 is pretty ideal for where I want to be right now. And then Jack Duhan is probably in P10. So maybe a little bit of a teammate battle to start off this season here. We turn the last corner and we actually lose a little bit of time. We're going to activate the DRS, we're going to cross the line, and we are actually going to keep this position here. Max Verstappen does not improve on his first lap time, so he's going to be starting down in P8. He's going to have a little bit of work to do. Jack Duhan in P10. We finish nearly a second quicker than him. And then Sergio Perez up in pole position. So let's get into this race finally. Let's see what we could do here in our inaugural race for cyBorg Racing.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're loading the gears, so let's go through them all if you can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the opening race of the F1 23 My Team Career Mode, and we're off to one hell of a start here. We qualify in P7 ahead of Max Verstappen. I'm assuming he just didn't have the greatest qualifying because he should be up top. Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull is starting on pole here. Now, I'm thinking that we might have a little bit too good of a start. I was aiming for, you know, just barely getting into the top 10 for qualifying in terms of where I want to start it for difficulty. But we are still fighting for the points technically, and we still have to see how our race pace is versus our qualifying pace, because obviously our qualifying pace is pretty good. Scooby-Doo, Jack Doohan starts in P9. So the cyBorg CRM5, or 6 I should say, the CRM6 is looking very strong. And I'm wondering too how our race start is gonna be, because in F2 it was OP. We overtook 5 cars or something like that to start the race going into turn 1, and the amount I've played online has also been pretty good, or the race starts that I've played so far online have been pretty good. So it might just be that the game has changed it, so it's more in my favor of how I've attempted to start cars. Makes it a little bit easier. They might have to buff the AI. I'm still not at 110, we're at 100, so if our race pace is too good, like we end up, you know, getting on the podium or very close to in this race, and I will up the difficulty because I don't want to be this good that quickly. But we're gonna find out here what our race pace is really like as we get onto the grid here. We're lighting up these rear tires so we can get a good start. Trying to warm up the fronts as well, but let's get into this. Let's see what we can do in our opening race here in Bahrain. Here we go for the opening race of this F122 My Team Career Mode. We got 5 red lights, and this race is underway here. And we get off to a great start. So does Fernando Alonso. We overtake Leclerc, Sainz, and Hamilton. We're in P4. Going into turn 1 here, we brake super late. We dove into that corner basically, but we're fighting Alonso. I have to give him a little bit of room. We're in P4 to start off this race. We take 3 spots, so maybe we got to raise that difficulty. We still got to see if we can hold on to this P4 for the duration of this race. But Fernando Alonso already looking a little slow. I had to double check in Q2 that I was on 100 difficulty, and for some reason you can't see the difficulty level, but I know for a fact that I set it to 100 before the season started, and I didn't touch it after that.
Alright, let's focus.
Alright, Lewis Hamilton now. He is coming at us down into the final corner. And we're going to go wheel to wheel all the way down the straight into turn 1. No DRS activated just yet. He falls back a little bit. I think he attacked a little too hard. But we are falling back to Fernando Alonso in the front of the pack there. So it could be an F2 scenario where our pace just isn't there. Hamilton's going to have DRS on us here. We're falling behind Alonso once again. And let's see, we're going to be racing Lewis Hamilton here. He's going to have DRS. Not too much I could do. We're at 40% battery already. It's not much of a fight, honestly, as Lewis Hamilton just zooms by. He takes P4, so now we are down into P5. We got another opportunity with the DRS here. We got to sit close to him into turn 10 so that we can have DRS and try and get that spot back. We're going to be fighting for P4, it looks like, for now with Lewis Hamilton. And the front of the pack, actually, it looks like they've kind of slowed down a little bit. We're gaining ground on them here. So this is very helpful for me. Need a good exit out of turn 10 here. And not a good exit out of turn 10. Oh, come on. But that DRS will help us stick with Hamilton. Maybe we can get him going down into turn 1. I'm going to save that battery. Oh my goodness. And Charles Leclerc out of nowhere. I didn't even see him coming. And we're just going to dive down the inside and keep that spot. We're still going to have DRS on Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc was freaking fast there, man. Holy crap. As Sainz is battling with him now, so we're quickly falling down the order here. Everyone else is starting to catch up with us. That DRS is really helping us stay in it at the moment. Look at that. They're going 3 wide. Into Sector 2, there's bound to be a crash there. No way they keep that together. Look at that. Look, and we've caught up to them because of that. And we're going to overtake Lewis Hamilton here. He gets caught up in that traffic. And we're right on Fernando Alonso's rear.
Into first place.
And we're running out of room here. As we go down into turn 10, we have to beat Alonso in the corner. We almost have contact. And we're in a P3. Holy, let's go. I'm going to be honest, we did not earn that P3 on raw pace. We just got a little bit lucky. Right place, the right time. Just a little bit aggressive down into turn 10. And we're on a podium in our debut race for cyBorg Racing here in F123. Fernando Alonso, we're not even going to try and defend that Verstappen though. We're going to try and defend him down the inside, but he's going to try and squeeze his way through. We have to give him that racing room. There's not much I can do. Otherwise, there's going to be a collision. And he's going to have DRS here. Oh, but so will we. This is going to help us. So we're down into P4. Russell and Perez are battling like hell up there. I still can't believe that the three of them in front of me managed to go 3 wide into these 3 turns right here without causing a collision of some sort. And Verstappen also going to overtake us here. This is where the pace part comes in. I just think the CRM5 doesn't have enough pace. Carlos Sainz, look at that. The DRS is so fast here. And we almost have a collision with Max Verstappen. Oh my goodness. But we still stay in front of Carlos Sainz, surprisingly. We're going to have DRS here again. At this point, I'm just conserving the battery for defense. I'm not going to even try and go for the podium. Because even though we can get up there, we're not able to hold it. We're just not capable. We don't have the car right now to hold a podium spot, I think, without completely ruining our race. Our tire wear as well is extremely high. We're 8 laps in, and the rears are pretty much at 30%. So we gotta kind of watch our tire wear here. We're only on a one-stop strategy. Lewis Hamilton is gonna have DRS here. But we're gonna try and defend this. We're gonna try our best. And he goes wide. Oh man. Oh wait, actually, we're still with Lewis Hamilton. Oh my god, we almost have contact. And we're going almost side by side here. Maybe I could dive down the inside. No, not enough for Ruby. Shuts us out. And we're down in a P6 here. But we will have DRS, so we should be able to overtake Hamilton. We also got the battery charged up as well. Carlos Sainz will be making a charge on us at the same time. So Lewis Hamilton very vulnerable here. We're going to turn on that battery right now and get this spot back. Hold it for as long as possible. I think we can hold a P5. I think. We'll see. We still got like more than half of this race left. And we overtake Lewis Hamilton before we get down into turn 1. Leave him a little bit of space to the inside, which I did not want to do, but we will take it. He's going to have DRS here on us, and he might go for that move once again. Look at him. He's storming, and he's going so fast I can't even claim the inside because it's like so dangerous. I don't want to cause a collision. They swerve for that position so quickly. Oh my goodness, and Carlos Sainz is trying to beat us into the pit lane here, but we're not going to let that happen. He's right behind us. George Russell actually staying out for another lap here, and we are going to get a fresh set of hard tires on. Verstappen just gets out of the pits. He's on the hard tires as well. I think Hamilton is in here with us, and Aston Martin coming out. We need a good pit stop. First pit stop of the season. The boys in red and gold. Let's go. Beautiful. Alright, so we're on these fresh hard tires. I'm going to feel a massive difference here. And who is this? Lance Stroll on some medium tires, trying to make a move here right out of the pit lane. And he does get that move done. No. Let me get that back. I don't want to get stuck behind him. I think he's on an old set of medium tires. Might be new. He might be on a 2-stopper, honestly. Oh my god, and we have a safety car with 5 laps left to go. We had such a good lead. No! It does give us a chance to overtake Leclerc and Alonso up front. Oh, and Alonso is out of the race, possibly? Who's out of the race? I'm not even sure. Hold on. Let's see. Who's out of the race here? Oh, Duhan, no! He was having a pretty good race as well. Oh, what did I get a warning? Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. No time penalty for that. but so we got a safety car here. Duhan out of the session, so we're gonna have a chance to overtake Leclerc and Alonso, but that's also gonna give Sainz and Hamilton, who are definitely a lot faster than us, another opportunity to overtake me. So we could potentially lose out points, we could potentially gain some points, but we'll see here, because Sainz and Hamilton were battling side by side for a few laps, and they would lose about a second a lap to me every lap they spent fighting. So we had a solid, well, you can see it there right now, about 5-second lead, but we are going to catch up with the safety car. By the time we get reset, we will have 3 laps of racing, which means we'll have 1 lap with DRS, which is going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep a level head because there's going to be a lot of traffic down into turn 1. But we got the battery, and it's still not quick enough. As we get reset here, we're going to dive down the inside and overtake both of them. Look at that absolute dive bomb into the corner. Probably lit up the rear tires there, but we are in a podium spot. I'm not going to count this as a legitimate podium spot if we do finish there, just because it was a safety car reset. It was looking like a solid P5. But with the luck of the draw, we are possibly on our way to our first podium in our first race of the season here. Charles Leclerc right behind us by 0.2 of a second. This race is not over yet. We do have a lot of batteries stored up, so that's going to help us. There's no DRS for the rest of this race, I believe, because it needs 2 laps to activate. There's only like 2 laps left of racing here. But Charles Leclerc, with a lot quicker of a car, he's going to try and make the move here down into turn 11. We're going to be going side by side, going a little easy on the brakes just to keep that momentum through the corner, going side by side into turn 12, still side by side. Look at that. We are wheel to wheel. We shoved them out a little bit there, but we are not making any contact with them. That's all that matters. Everything else just an incident. But we have way more drag than the rest of the cars here. And actually, Charles Leclerc might not overtake us going into turn 1 here. We might actually get a podium here. Come on. He's a, oh crap, okay, he's a 10th now. He might get us here. So let's see. Charles Leclerc. Oh no, he falls back. And Verstappen and Perez are gonna get a 1-2 finish. No surprise there, really. I think the third podium spot is what is still in question, as Charles Leclerc still right on our rear. And what a race, honestly. A lot of action, a lot of overtaking in this race. If you guys liked it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as we have a lot of oversteer. Down into turn 8, turn 9, and then turn 10, we are side by side with Charles Leclerc, but we have that inside position, which is going to help us stay out in front. And I think we just ended the race right there. I think we just cut off Charles Leclerc, and it's going to be enough for a podium. Not a super dramatic finish, but still a podium nonetheless. 7/10 in front of Charles Leclerc. Let's see here. We're going to use all the rest of the battery that we got left in the tank. Is it going to be enough to secure a podium spot? A very lucky finish for us here as we cross the final corner. Sergio Perez takes the win. Leclerc right on our rear, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to get a podium in our first race of the season. I think I'm going to raise it to 105 after that. I mean, we should have finished in P5. But we've been keeping up for the most part with, you know, the higher midfield cars, which I'm trying to be like in a lower midfield, at least to start the season. Unfortunately, though, Jack Duhan does have a DNF. It's terminal damage for him. I think he spun it on one of the corners. You guys probably saw up on the replay cam. So no points for him. He was in the points, I believe, for the majority of that race. He probably would have finished in the points, so we probably would have finished in P5, but that safety car comes in clutch, and we dive bomb the corner on the reset, take 2 starts to take our first podium. I don't think we'll be getting it again unless something similar to this were to happen, at least in this first half of the season. We do have Jeddah coming up next, though, so I'm pretty good at Jeddah. Bahrain usually isn't a track I'm that good at, relatively speaking. Jeddah, though, as you guys know, I am pretty good at. So maybe we will get another podium, but I am going to raise it up to 105 and test that out. Maybe that will kind of balance things out, because I don't think we should be coming in P3 or really even P5 in the opening race of the season. We only have a mid-tier car. All these other drivers, especially the two Red Bulls, Ferraris, and Mercedes, those guys should be in front of us. I think we should be battling more with McLaren and Alpine. Averaging like a P6 or 7 finish on the season is kind of what I'm aiming for here, because I don't want it to be too easy off the bat. I kind of want to build the team up from the middle, not from the ground. But we are going to get some upgrades here. We're going to be focusing on the chassis department. For some reason, our powertrain is the most upgraded component. Maybe that's because we bought the Red Bull engine, but I want to focus on chassis the most, get that weight reduction down, and then aerodynamics a little bit. And we're not going to make the same mistake that we did before and not invest in the durability. I'm actually going to try to prioritize that over the aerodynamics, or at least balance it. But chassis is definitely the focus here. We're going to get the roll damper upgrade, because that is the only upgrade we can get at the moment. But we will have a lot of extra R&D points. We can get these front wing gurney flaps. I have no idea what those do. It's a major upgrade though, so let's go for that one. And then our next upgrade, we will get a chassis upgrade if we can, if not a durability, or both. So we're going to hold off on the aerodynamics for the next round of upgrades. We will have these two chassis upgrades coming in for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which kind of convinces me more to put the difficulty up to 105. Where can I change that? Here we go, difficulty. So it is at 100. Get it up to 105, and then after that, I guess it'd be 110, which I'm pretty proud of myself for. We started in F1 2020, very short stint there, and then F1 2021 and 22, and we got it all the way up to 100. Now we're at 105. So we'll see how that turns out. If you guys are excited, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me just turn on my camera here to say goodbye. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys know when the next video comes out, and I will see you guys then. Have a great night, guys.